evening. I call to order the Concord Township Board of Trustee meeting for November 1st, 2023. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Lucci?
Present.
Mr. Dondorfer?
Present.
Mr. McIntosh?
Present. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the October 18th, 2023 trustee meeting, regular meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the October 18th, 2023 regular trustees meeting minutes.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Elected officials reports. Fiscal Officer, Mr. Jim Technip.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Mr. McIntosh, as of October 31st, we were 83% of the way through the calendar year. The treasury balance for the 21 active funds within the township treasury was $8,386,800. The treasury balance includes $2.1 million in funds set aside for specific projects. Year-to-date expenditures were 83% of the amount appropriated for the 2023 budget. The revenue received year-to-date is 102%, so we are within budget. If you have any specific financial questions, please do not hesitate to call our office at 354-7516.
Thank you. Trustees, Mrs. Lucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I hope everyone had a nice Halloween, and hello, November. This morning was quite the snowy little vision outside, and thanks to looks like the plow trucks were already out for the first time. Thank you very much to our service department. It is great to see our fire department moving into the new station. What a wonderful sight. It's so great that we're finally able to see it. We look forward to the ribbon cutting on November 16th at 4 o'clock. We were able to attend the Empowering Local Leaders Conference with some of our leaders from Northeast Ohio and DC a few weeks ago, where we heard from our congressmen, some senators on updates and issues such as AI, NASA updates, and human trafficking. I thought it was very interesting. It was an interesting time, noting that it was what was happening with the speaker nominations and voting. So a very interesting time in DC. I did hear from a few residents regarding road conditions, specifically Little Mountain Road and Sherrill Drive, issues with concerns about needing repair for driving, for walking. Our service director, Mr. Brown, responded with some updates and future considerations. Thank you for your help with that. I have heard from some residents regarding the safety services levy with questions regarding why if it's a new levy, why it's needed. I discussed this as a replacement levy, which takes the place of our current safety services levy. It is an increased ask to support our fire department as well as operations and to support our law enforcement personnel. Our revenue does not support for this year and the next for the next year and the next 5 years. It's not sufficient to keep the personnel we have. In the event the levy doesn't pass, we would have to make cuts. So all these questions I'm getting are pretty much the same, and so trying to get the information out there that's real and is accurate is important. So please feel free to reach out and call us. We did have a stakeholder meeting last week, which there was nobody in attendance, so hopefully people are getting the information. If not, again, please feel free to give us a call. We appreciate your attention. It's a very critical issue. Aside from that, we're looking forward to the holidays, some of the events like our tree lighting, wreath ceremony coming up. And with that, I hope everyone has a great rest of the week.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I appreciate the summary, Mrs. Lucci, on the safety levy. You know, this is a replacement with an additional ask, and the additional ask is to support the level of service that we currently have in Concord Township between our law enforcement first responders and our fire department first responders, as well as those operations that take place to keep those first responders on the street. So it's important. And thank you for your summary of that. Yeah, I hope everybody had a safe Halloween. I woke up this morning to the same thing. I woke up going to the office in the morning. I see so much snow, and thanks to the road department for pushing all that so I could get out on November 1st. And it was quite an awakening this morning. I did receive just a couple calls from some Concord residents regarding some neighbor issues that they had, where the township is working with them on trying to mediate those issues between some neighbors. And I did speak with another resident regarding a road issue that Mrs. Lucci touched on. And other than that, yeah, excited about Fire Station 1 moving. It was really exciting to see the video and all our apparatus enter that bay after the long journey through this project, but it's come to fruition, and it's quite very proud of it. Very proud of Concord. Very proud that we got this done to protect our fire personnel and our first responders, and to carry Concord Township's safety services in the future. So it's very proud of that, and I hope others join us on November 16th for the ribbon cutting and can come in and take a tour of the new facility and just see how outstanding it is and what we've done to protect our firefighters. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Donner. Thank you for Mrs. Lucci for the great recap of the trip to DC. That was very informative. We did get to see a lot of, get some reports from our elected officials in DC, and had a couple speakers give us some good insight to some things that we have to deal with here in our local community. The human trafficking thing was great, and well, not great, but interesting to hear that, and definitely keeps a focus on the need for law enforcement. I know that the Sheriff's Department here in Lake County puts a lot of time and effort into that issue as well. So just underscores the importance of the need to have good law enforcement in Lake County. I have dealt with issue 3 as well, a number of phone calls and people throwing us some suggestions and ideas as far as how we can solve it. And I just want to let the residents of Concord know, please rest assured we've looked at everything. And I know some people have watched our recorded stakeholder video. We've had quite a few hundred views on that, so appreciate people taking the time to look at that and get informed on the issue. We've run around everywhere. The fiscal officers looked, and this is a situation where we need. This is not asking for extra. This is not asking for cushion. This is asking for funds to keep our doors open, so to speak, when it comes to public safety. So encourage people to get informed, ask questions, reach out to trustees. And just a really important issue this year. Very surprised to wake up. I was coming home from the Cavs game last night, right when the snow started. Yeah. So I went to bed expecting to see snow in the morning. Just tells me how much later I stay up than my early bird colleagues here. Had a couple phone calls and working on some issues with respect to roads and salting, and kind of mopping up an issue with the resident had in the Kellogg Creek restoration thing, which is in one of the final phases now. They're out there planning this month, and then that'll be done. So, and with that, concludes my report. And Administrator Rose.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh, members of the board, Mr. Technip, members of the audience, good evening. I'll start by covering a few items on the agenda. Item A is a resolution that authorizes us to file a grant application to the LWCF, which is a Land Water Conservation Fund. They primarily handle grants for recreational facilities and parks. We're still working through some initial plans. We may wait until the next round, but we'd like to have this resolution passed. In the event we can get everything together, we have the option to send it along. Item B is a resolution to dispose of some obsolete property that is unfit for future use. We're actually going to take some very old computer monitors, and we're going to donate them to a school of innovation so that kids can, with the teacher, the kids can take them apart and learn how the electronics are put together and stuff like that. So it's better than just pitching them. So it's going to good use. I would imagine Mr. Brown will cover item C. So I'll go to item D, which is the vote for a purchase order. That's for the construction management and inspection services for the upcoming water line projects on Girdle and Auburn Road. We need to get that in place. And then at the next meeting, I will be coming to the trustees requesting for permission to go out for bid. Those plans are done. They're just working the paperwork's working its way through getting the final signatures on it, but the plans have been stamped by the engineer. That covers the agenda. The only other item I have, and you all have touched on it, which is as the snow season begins, which it abruptly did this morning, I just want to remind residents that within Concord Township, we have township roads, we have county roads, we have state routes. We've gotten a good number of calls today about all three, and we're happy to help residents as best we can, but I encourage residents to contact the appropriate agency for the road they're calling about. So if it's a county road, please call the county. The county prefers to get the calls directly from the resident rather than through us, but we are happy to advocate for you. But what we're going to do tomorrow morning, we're going to post a list of roads and who is responsible for them on our website tomorrow morning. So we'll list the roads that fall under ODOT state routes, we'll list the county roads, and then everything else is either ours or it's a private road. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Chief Sabo.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Chief.
So for the month of October, we had 259 events. 174 of them were EMS related, with 131 transports, 85 non-EMS events, including 5 fires, 1 chimney fire inside of Concord. We had 4 fire events outside of Concord, including 1 vehicle fire, 1 structure fire, and 2 chimney fires. So it's that time of the year that the chimney fires are becoming more prevalent. So we encourage homeowners with wood burning fireplaces to get them cleaned, inspected, and continually maintain those, because they can pack up pretty easily and create a hazard. We gave mutual aid 24 times and received mutual aid 6 times. We had 72 overlapping calls for a total of about 27.8%. Fire Prevention Bureau, as I mentioned in the last meeting, October is National Fire Prevention Education Month. So October, we are just jam-packed with great activities in the schools and out in the community. But on top of all that, and I'll get to those in a little bit, but they also performed 31 inspections accounting for 45 hours, including 4 plan reviews accounting for 8 hours. On the public education side, the staff, the Fire Prevention Bureau staff and duty crews delivered about a 30-minute education program with handouts to over 1,000 students from preschool to 2nd grade, and will reach 1,300 children by the end of the program. So that's a lot of outreach, and I can't say enough about our Fire Prevention Bureau and our firefighters for the job that they do in the schools and getting that important safety information out. On top of that, Fire Prevention also trained 15 new employees of Concord Sports Complex on how to handle emergencies and CPR. They also trained 7 employees of Hershey Montessori in CPR and first aid, as well as provided them with an emergency site assessment along with the Lake County Sheriff's Office. They met with Stephen Douglas Safety Committee to assist in setting up a new emergency plan and employee training for that. They took part in Auburn Career Center's mock interview event for high school students. So it's something that we do every year, and the students have an opportunity to sit one-on-one with an employer and be interviewed in a mock setting, and then they get feedback and some discussion back and forth. So it's a really good event. On top of all that, the Fire Prevention Bureau was also took the opportunity to go to the Northeast Ohio Fire Prevention Association Conference in Salt Fork. That's a 3-day conference just to learn about the latest and greatest what's coming up. And if that wasn't enough, we also helped with Parkside Elementary. They did a run at Skoke Meadow, so we were a presence out there and ran with the kids and had a good time with them. We provided EMS coverage for Riverside football, and congratulations to Riverside. And helped with a township Halloween event. We did a trunk or treat at Painesville Church of the Nazarene and Goddard School. And the Firefighters Union 3329 did a great job
doing the fundraiser to benefit Jesse Sopko, the Madison firefighter that was severely injured in a crash. And from what I wasn't able to make it, but from what I understand, it was an amazing event.
Fantastic.
And raised some good money for Jesse and his family. On October 23rd, we moved into the new fire station. And I cannot thank you enough. I've been smiling ear to ear for the last week and a half, and the firemen are really happy to be in their new home. They started putting their pictures on the walls and getting it all, making it cozy. So they are very appreciative, but what impressed me the most was we didn't skip a beat. Amidst moving into a station, we did the Halloween events. We recognized, we were out trick-or-treating in the communities last night. We recognized a soldier who had passed away. We recognized that soldier during his procession home last night, and that was emotional. It was hard, but we had to do it. And on October 27th, the guys participated in 19 firefighters participated in live fire training at Auburn Career Center. So no matter, even amidst the move, we didn't miss a beat. We answered calls. Everything got answered, everything got dealt with. And so I'm really proud of our staff for coming together and rolling up our sleeves and getting this done. And there was a lot of support from other agencies as well to help us get that done. So thank you to this board, all the staff of Concord Township, and the residents of Concord Township for giving us this opportunity. And it's not one that we take lightly. And just, it's already been said, but let's say it again. We'll see everyone on November 16th at 4 o'clock for the ribbon cutting and open house to help celebrate our 75th anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, thanks, Chief.
Mr. Brown, Service Department.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Service Department in the month of October continued with our concrete slab replacement program, replacing concrete in the Hunt Club area, and are now performing work in the South Meadow area. The crew will continue this with concrete replacement as the weather permits. Other crews perform ditch maintenance, road patching, and easement maintenance. The equipment maintenance crew upfit 2 of our new F450s with the warning light package and undercoated both vehicles. Both units will be in service by the end of this week. The service department also responded to our first snow call out of the season last night. Lake County Sheriff's Department requested plow trucks to respond to snow and ice conditions. At approximately 10:30, our trucks were on the road by 11:30. The brush day collection took place on Saturdays, October 14th and 21st. Many residents took advantage of the drop-off. The yard waste drop-off will remain open until November 30th at 2:30 p.m. The annual curbside yard waste pickup will take place on November 20th, beginning at 6 a.m. Major Waste will perform the collection in one day throughout the township. Residents are encouraged to have their yard waste bags to the curb the night before. The new storage building for the service department is progressing nicely. The gas and electric service has been installed. Electricians are currently installing lighting. ACM is on schedule to be completed by the week of Thanksgiving. Item C on the agenda tonight is a PO to Geauga Door Sales and Service Incorporated in the amount of $22,436 to replace 4 doors in the service department building, paid for with NOPEC Energy grant funds. I would like a favorable vote for that. Residents with questions or concerns are encouraged to contact the service department at 440-350-3225 or by email at concordtwp.com under service. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'd just like to share with the board before we get on to our next. A couple weeks ago, Tim and I drove to the township looking at roads. I mentioned that in my last trustee report, but when we finished, we popped over and I got to see the guys working on finishing up the truck, and they do a great job. They take a lot of pride in their work, and I think it's one of those things that we should take a minute to recognize. I mean, we see it all over the place in the township. All of our departments do this, but since Mr. Brown has made reference to it, it's just one of those little things that we do here in Concord that saves money. Something they could have contracted out and just had someone do. They do it themselves. Fire department does stuff like that. You know, everybody does the most they can, and it's just those little things go unmentioned and unseen and unrecognized. I just want to take a minute to point that out.
Thank you. Very resourceful.
And with that, zoning report. Mrs. Heather Freeman is out this evening for an important family event, so Mr. Rose is going to be giving the zoning report.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. Good evening again, everybody. The zoning department report for November 1st. During the month of October, the zoning department staff processed 24 zoning permit applications and collected $3,200 in fees. Additionally, the staff was busy performing inspections. They completed 90 property inspections with open zoning permits. They issued 31 zoning certificates of compliance. Staff also received and followed up on 14 new complaints about potential zoning violations. Next week's busy week. Both the Zoning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals will hold their regular meetings, and the detailed agendas have been posted on the Township website under the Public Meetings tab. And then finally, should residents have any questions or concerns, please call the Zoning Department at 440-354-7506. And that concludes the Zoning Department report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thank you.
Recreation, Mr. Super.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just wanted to recap our October events that we had. On Friday, October 13th and Saturday the 14th, we had our indoor garage sale. We had over 20 vendors present, and approximately 300 to 350 people came through the doors for that event, so that was very good for that. On Saturday, October 21st, we had our community Halloween Spooktacular event here at the town campus, our town hall campus. We obviously fought the weather, but it did stay dry during that event. We had a decent turnout considering everything overall, but those that did came were very appreciative that we had it, so that was good. Thanks to our vendors that came out, we had Delish Mobile Kitchen, Queen Bean Coffee, and We Are Fat Rolls, who's a new local vendor who makes and sells homemade pepperoni rolls and cinnamon rolls, and he sold out of all of his pepperoni rolls, so he did a good job there. Special thanks to Chief Sabo and Deputy Chief Bedell from the Concord Fire Department, and Sergeant Infelvi from the Sheriff's Department for coming out as well and supporting us, so thank you to them. On Friday, October 27th, we had our first adaptive Halloween dance party held at the community center. We had DJ, dancing, costume contest, food. We had 40 special need participants there for that event. So again, really amazing number. It was a great turnout. Everyone had a wonderful time. Parents were insanely appreciative for offering those types of things. So we're going to be looking to expand those offerings in the future. And just a quick note about our Halloween events for next year. We're going to be looking to move those to the community center so we avoid all the potential for bad weather. So we'll be hosting those at the community center moving forward here. So some upcoming events. Our 55 plus group that meets pretty much every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Today we had a tribute to Patsy Cline. Next Tuesday we have Library Tuesday with Menor Public Library featuring Make Your Own No-So Sachet. November 8th is Showbiz Kids. November 15th is our annual Friendsgiving Thanksgiving event. We were actually sold out of that one, but if any Concord residents are interested in attending that, just give us a call and we'll try and help you out with that. And then November 29th is Bingo, and that's a White Elephant themed event. Our programming held at the community center. We have our Mind and Body Martial Arts every Tuesday and Thursday. New students get the first month free, so anyone interested in that, contact the Recreation Department. We have dance classes held on Thursday evenings. We have morning yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have Yoga Pilates Fusion on Wednesday evenings. We have yoga on Monday nights. We have some make and take soap and perfume classes taught by Joanna Orgavon. Our Let's Cook for November is with LaDonna Altman. That one is white bean peanut stew. We have just one special event this month, which is a nice little break for the last several months that we've had. We have a drive-in movie this coming Saturday, November 4th. I'm doing that in conjunction with Lamouth Middle School. and Parkside Elementary School. So we're going to be doing Super Mario Brothers. That's going to be in the parking lot of Lamuth Elementary School. The lot's open at 5:30 with movie starting around 6:45. We'll have Delish Mobile Kitchen there, supplying anyone with dinner needs. And then Parkside PTO is going to be doing popcorn. And then AMSCO, which is basically Lamuth PTO, they're going to be supplying hot chocolate and have merchandise there as well. I encourage everyone to stop by the Old Stone Schoolhouse on Veterans Day, which is Saturday, November 11th, from 11:30 to 1, to visit Dan Maxon there for our tribute to the veterans. Just want to talk about a few events in December that we have, as they will either have happened already or happen right after our next meeting. So Friday, December 1st at 7 o'clock here at the Town Hall campus is our holiday tree lighting festivities. That begins at 7, like I said, and then there'll be some activities inside here as well. Our Light Up Concord annual decorating contest, be the envy of the neighborhood or go the Clark Griswold route and see how you do. Download an entry form at concordtwp.com and send it into the recreation department by December 7th. Online voting will take place between December 12th and 30th, with winners announced after that. And then our letters to Santa with Mrs. Claus will be held on Saturday, December 9th. That's from 10 to 11 at the community center. This beloved Concord tradition has Mrs. Claus reads stories and then helps kids write their annual letters to Santa. The cost of that is $10 a child, and that's geared for ages 4 to 10 years old. So register by calling 440-639-4650. And outside of that, please continue to sign up for the e-grapevine. You can visit concordtwp.com or call the recreation department, and we can help get you signed up for that. And that concludes my report.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
And Concord Law Enforcement Sergeant Falvey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For October 2023, the Lake County Sheriff's Office responded to 1,223 calls for service in Concord Township, one being an injury accident, 12 damage accidents involving vehicles. An adult female was arrested for OVI, an adult female and an adult male were arrested for warrants, and then another adult male on Ravenna Road was arrested on a warrant. We responded to 60 alarms. We issued 20 citations for various traffic violations. We issued 118 warnings for various traffic violations. Animal complaints was in the ballpark number of 21, 34 disabled vehicles, 10 disturbances, 1 sex offense, 51 suspicious circumstances, vehicles and persons, and 15 welfare checks, just to name a few, to give you an idea of some of the call volume. We attended the Menor High School Career Day today, had a lot of good people visit the booth and had an interest in law enforcement and what the Sheriff's Office does for our local communities. A lot of them were Concord Township students that stopped by. Halloween went well. We had extra deputies on duty. We hit a lot of the neighborhoods. We passed out candy, and we're hoping we hit the biggest hot spots, which I think we did, but we were out there in full force, just in case you didn't see us. We will be at Lamuth for the movie night as a security function, and then, if the kids want to check out our equipment and our vehicles, by all means, we would love to have them. And we also participated in the procession for the Marine that passed away from Hopkins Airport all the way to through Painesville Township and to Menor. And then we will also be helping with the funeral on Saturday. Any questions or concerns?
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
All right, moving through the agenda, audience, seeing none. Old business, seeing none, we'll get into the new business. A few resolutions this evening.
Mr. Chair, I vote to approve Resolution 2023-23, the LWCF grant application.
And I will second.
Any discussion? Hear none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 3 ayes.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-24, declaring certain personal property of Concord Township surplus, not needed for public purpose and obsolete and unfit for the use of which the property was acquired, having no value, and authorizing the disposal or salvage thereof.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
Mr. Chairman, I vote to approve purchase order to Geauga Door Sales and Service Incorporated in the amount of $22,436 to replace 4 doors on Service Department building, paid for with NOPEC Energy grant funds.
And I will second.
Always nice to see NOPEC money coming back to Concord Township.
That's
All in favor?
fantastic.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve a PO to CEC Incorporated in the amount of $54,900 for construction management and inspection of the Girdle and Auburn Road waterline project.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Future meetings and announcements, please.
Yes. On Tuesday, November 7th, from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. is Election Day. On November 7th at 7 p.m., a zoning commission meeting will be held at Town Hall. Also, on November 8th at 7 p.m., a BZA meeting will be held at Town Hall. Town Hall will be closed on Friday, November 10th, in observance of Veterans Day. On November 15th, from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., trustees' office hours will be held in the conference room at Town Hall. And also on November 15th at 7:30 p.m., a trustee meeting will be held at Town Hall.
All right. Thank you. If there's no other business, we'll conclude our meeting. Good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.